back. We got another fantastic episode of Sarcasm Speaks during the dumbest time to be alive, officially, as if it wasn't already before. There's just random shit happening all over the place.
I actually think it has gotten dumber.
Yeah, no, 100%. The latest thing that's out now on social media is hashtag defund the police. People legitimately want to defund police departments and like abolish police.
And Minnesota said they're actually the city council said they're working towards it officially.
You know what? Minnesota or Minneapolis,
Oh,
wherever,
whichever one
is gonna turn into an absolute fucking shithole.
What?
How are you not gonna have? So you're just not gonna have police?
If you're not gonna have police, yeah, hey, good luck. Guess where I'm not gonna live? Where there's no police.
Yeah, they said they're gonna have like community
What
engagement.
a fucking neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
How did
no
that work?
way.
Hey, how did that work out in Florida?
Yeah.
All those years back.
How'd that work in the old west and they just hung people?
Yeah.
And
Careful. Careful about that whole hang thing.
it's racist to hang anybody.
Yeah, yeah. But like, holy shit, can you get any fucking dumber? Seriously. Like, people, their argument now is we need to abolish police.
What is their solution?
They don't have one. That's the thing. They're all about appealing to emotions right now. They're like, everyone's really mad at cops. Let's get rid of the cops. And they're like, yeah!
We're canceling cops.
But no one is stopping to say like, hey, okay, but what's the alternative? Like, we don't care, we're canceling cops. It's like, no, but what's the alternative? It doesn't matter, cops suck. And everyone's like,
We'll just protect
What?
ourselves as a community. So it'll be like an ideal situation.
like
No,
talk
it's
about
okay.
like the ultimate emotional reaction is like, yeah, we just gotta get rid of cops. So the problem is there's a couple bad cops, so now we have to get rid of all cops. Like, what? That's the equivalent of like, you cut your finger and it gets infected, so you amputate your whole arm. Oh, the cut on my finger's infected. Looks like I gotta lose my arm now.
Yeah, you might as well just have yourself.
It's better to be careful.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? What is
So that's my
wrong
only
with
thing
people?
though. Like, so what is gonna happen? Are they gonna go private?
No, they won't. Nothing. Like nothing.
They'll
will
have
happen.
nothing?
It's not gonna happen.
Oh.
Like there's no fucking way it actually happens.
So,
But what is the?
It's just like I said. It's appealing to people's emotions right now.
so they might defund parts of it. Like
Yeah.
the-
So like
the part that's making it more-
LAPD already cut some of the funding. They cut the budget towards the police. But the thing is too, especially in the major cities across the country, their police unions are so strong that, yeah, cool, maybe they cut 1.5 million out of the budget for police this year, and maybe they'll cut another, 750,000 next year. But the way those unions roll, 2, 3, 4 years from now, when all this blows over, we'll get it all back.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where like, all right, yeah, cool. We'll take less money now just so people like shut the fuck up and stop like blowing shit up and setting shit on fire. And then 4 years from now, you'll get like a 3 times raise. You know what I mean? Like it's just how things work. Because by that time, people will stop paying attention to this shit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
But like, I've never heard of anything more stupid in my entire life than abolish the police with
What?
no viable alternative.
Well, my only thing is
Now,
like,
if they had said, we need to get rid of the police and then replace them with X, I don't know, maybe someone could have came up with a good idea. Maybe X could have been doable, feasible. But there is no X. There is no alternative plan. There's just, get rid of the police.
well, see, this is the thing where I think sometimes people forget to think about, a step down the road.
No way.
So,
People don't do that.
Here's my thing. There are no more cops in Minneapolis. Anytime any crime happens, someone has to be there. So guess who? Exactly. Guess who's coming in?
Military.
You guys gonna be happy about that?
Yeah.
In their trade, at least.
No.
There seem like more rational people say that, like, they want the police to get more training, like longer amounts of that, and change
Yeah.
their approach.
So that's
Like,
how
just
you
throw
fix
out
the
whole
problem.
system.
So the way the system is currently fucked up right now. However, I don't know. I'm not a cop. I have friends that are cops. We have cops that listen to the show. I don't know. I'm assuming every department is different, across the country. Not even like, you're talking like even across the state they could vary. They vary from municipality to municipality. Like it doesn't matter. Like the training that someone gets in Mansfield PD could be totally different than what someone gets in like Danvers. Like it's so different even within the own state. So I don't know, maybe we start to talk about like real solutions and say like, well, the issue is clearly like these cops are just uber aggressive, and I get that like they have to put up with bullshit all the time, but like maybe teach them de-escalation techniques. And then some people are going to be like, well, they are taught de-escalation techniques and they choose to ignore them. It's part of the curriculum. Okay, if it's part of the curriculum for some places, like, what do they? If you're in an academy for 16 weeks, what do you think they spend? Maybe 2.5 hours over the course of 16 weeks. It might be a 2.5 hour segment of one day of a 16-week academy. Like, I don't know, maybe spend a whole week on it. Maybe talk about non-lethal tactics. Maybe actually try and pass some legislation in the state that people in Massachusetts are trying to fight for this right now. It's called the something 8, not the Hateful Eight, that's a movie. But something 8, it has to do with, there's 8 things that people are fighting for. Massachusetts already has enacted 4 out of the 8, like previously, and it's using like teaching cops about nonviolent tactics. It's like de-escalation techniques, charging cops for like using excessive force or something. It's like different things. Great, I'm all for it. I'd like put it out there. Let people vote on it. Like, let's talk about some real solutions here. Let's be adults. Let's fucking figure this thing out. Like, let's have real constructive conversation. Don't come at me like a fucking 7-year-old. Like, nope, I don't like cops. We gotta get rid of cops. What's your alternative? Doesn't matter. Get rid of cops. No. Let's talk about
Yeah, that's my thing is like, then, so what is it? It's just like I show up with my 6-shooter.
Right.
I ride up on my horse.
Right.
Like,
You can have a horse.
that's my thing is I just don't get what the alternative is.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. They don't have one because they're not thinking. They're just reacting emotionally, and people are fucking idiots.
I did see online that I think someone tweeted out, they were like, oh, it's funny. Every Waffle House I've ever been to is better at de-escalation than any cop I've ever met.
But that's what I mean. Like the Waffle House probably spends a lot of time training their employees on de-escalation techniques. Like I said,
probably have to.
Over a 16-week academy, you might get 2.5 hours on one day. You're like, it's just spending a whole week on it. Teach non-lethal tactics.
Probably get.
Like,
I hate to comment on something I know nothing about, but I could see it getting glossed over too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being like, oh, and then if the second anyone gets hostile, then this is what we do. I don't know.
Right. Well, because for so long, that's how it was. Because for so long, it was, well, it's my word against theirs.
Yeah.
So it's like if you sit in a courtroom, and you're a fucking piece of shit in front of a judge, and you're like, Judge, I didn't do anything wrong. And the cop is there like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
The judge is gonna believe the fucking cop, because it's just how things have evolved over time.
Well, it's like the joke. One of our friends. That's
about speeding.
Yeah, it's like but you were speeding. It's like, no, I wasn't. Yeah, you were.
Yeah, so I was talking to him. I don't know if I ever told you that story. It was a funny joke, but because so our buddy is a state trooper, and he was telling me that like sometimes he personally and him and his friends on the force will drive. Sometimes a state trooper will drive in the middle lane and do like 60. So purposely 5 miles an hour under the speed limit in the middle lane, and you can legally and lawfully pass them in the left lane doing 65, which is still the legal limit, and then immediately cross back over. You're abiding by the speed limit, you're abiding by the passing lane law, which technically the left lane is only supposed to be used for passing, and you get back over, and you get pulled over for speeding. And it's like, do you know why I pulled you over? No, sir. Well, you were speeding. No, I wasn't. I was doing 65. And he goes, no, you weren't. And it's like, okay, well, I see what you
Well,
did
yeah, what are
there.
you gonna do at that point?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. But
Because you can't whip out your phone and start videoing your speedometer.
right, because now it's against the law.
Now
to
it's
hold
against
your
the law to
phone.
hold your phone.
Right, so it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, that's kind of how it's been forever, pretty much, for cops, and now the people are starting to try and like hold them accountable. I can understand why people would be upset by that.
They're not trying to hold them accountable. They're trying to cancel them.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I'm
Well,
talking
that's
about the real people.
Oh,
in the
okay. Oh,
conversation.
actual people.
Like level-headed individuals that
Gotcha.
are trying to push for legislation
Gotcha.
to hold them accountable. And I can understand that if you've lived, like, it's a totally normal thing. Like, if you go about your job however you want for the entirety of your career, and now all of a sudden you're going to be affected by some other asshole across the country, yeah, you have every right to be pissed off. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, maybe these should have been in place to begin with. You know, maybe you shouldn't have been allowed to just do whatever the fuck you wanted from the beginning. And, you know, it's tough. I have a lot of family, like, half of my fucking mother's side are all cops. I have 2 uncles and 3 cousins that are cops. I have a lot of friends that are cops too. Like, you know, like it is what it is. But you know, you just kind of have to go around with it and deal with it. You know, it's in every profession. You know, one person fucks it up, and it's not just jobs. It was life in general.
Yeah, you
School
gotta-
happened in
you gotta
school all the time. Like
adapt to change.
one person fucks it up for everyone, and now you have to deal with it. Like whatever, you just kind of move forward, and like you said, just adapt to the situation.
Collegiate strength and conditioning coach just got put on notice this week.
Yeah.
Just like on that same thing, like one person ruins it for everyone. A lot of former players from Iowa just decided to speak out.
Yeah.
And the head strength coach at Iowa is typically regarded as the best in the country.
Right.
And he got called out pretty hard, multiple players, and
He got let go, or
he's
he
on
got put on
leave.
administrative.
He's on
Yeah.
leave. And he released a statement saying none of it was true, so he's getting crushed for that now.
Right.
What do you get accused of?
So it's mostly, it's really just, it's like really insensitive,
Just comments?
insensitive
Yeah.
to black people.
No.
So now, some of it was in a mocking nature,
Yeah.
like he would mock them a little bit. Now, there's no real necessarily true hate behind that.
Right.
But if you're only making fun of the black players for things that they say,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
I should have checked a little earlier
Yeah.
than that.
And then there was, I think there was some allegations of some actual, some potentially true singling out black people stuff.
Actual discrimination?
Yeah.
Like taking away opportunities?
No. Just
No, he's just a strength coach.
mostly in the sense of treating them a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was in a mocking nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just playing rough.
Yeah, I think one of the things was one of the kids was at my girl's house, something, and he goes, oh shit, at my girl's house, that's
Yeah.
he did something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been put on notice, and again, he's the highest paid, one of the most well known. He's a guy who gave his entire team rhabdo, and
Yeah.
somehow they rallied around him and lifted him up. I don't know how the fuck it was even possible.
Yeah. That was a while ago too, wasn't that 2015?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He gave a bunch of them rhabdo.
Yeah.
Somehow came out of it as more
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Wow, what a legend.
That's what I mean. I don't know. It's
Well, apparently
Can you give us a
you can't beat racism.
no, you can't.
You can get away with anything
Coronavirus.
but racism.
Can't beat that race.
Yeah, coronavirus couldn't even beat racism. I showed you the thing the other day from KRON fucking news in San Francisco Bay Area. They released the new phases, the next phase, because everything's in phases, for that area or whatever. And they said public social gatherings outdoors of 12 or less. And then literally the next bullet point underneath said protests of 100 or less. And then the bullet point after that said summer camps with groups of 12 or less.
Yeah.
So it's like what?
Get the outside.
Businesses can only be open for 12 or less, but people can protest with 100 people.
Oh, that fucking First Amendment gets in their way.
But like, what?
No, because see, this is the thing. Like, this is why, like, right now, protesting is the perfect thing,
Yeah.
because you cannot infringe on it. Really, what are you gonna do? Say no?
Yeah.
Then they're gonna protest your ability to not allow them to protest. Like, there's no
It's
way.
just gonna lead to a protest.
It's gonna lead to a protest or a riot, one or the other.
Right.
But like, really, what are you supposed to do?
Well, you can't fine a protest, but you can fine a fucking business. So they have you there. They don't have leverage on a protest, so they need to give way. But they
Yeah.
have that leverage on your business.
That's what I mean. Coronavirus isn't even immune to racism. That's like the ultimate fucking fuck you card. It beats everything.
Well, that's my other thing. So I was actually kind of terrified, starting last Sunday, that
Spike.
Baker was gonna, in Massachusetts, the governor, he was going to kick everything out further,
Yeah.
almost like.
Numbers are going up.
I thought he was gonna say it's like, oh well, you know, due to the like large gatherings of protests and etc. We're gonna delay phase 2.
Yeah. I mean, also, can we just agree? So the protests have been happening over the last, we'll call it 10 days, right? 7 to 10 days.
Last Sunday was the big one in Boston.
Okay. So it's been 7 days. Can we all just like collectively agree as like somewhat level-headed human beings that if there isn't a massive spike in the next 5 to 10 days, that this has been all bullshit? And now I'm not saying like the whole virus is bullshit and it's made up, because obviously people died, and like that sucks. But like people die from flu, and people die from fucking pneumonia, and people die from AIDS. Like people die from disease, cancer, all the fucking.
No, they do, and I don't have stats.
But I mean like what I mean by like acknowledging that this was all kind of bullshit was like the public reaction to it, and the media reaction, and the governmental control that resulted in all of that. Whereas like we went into lockdown for 3 months, and couldn't do anything like that. Like if we allow these protests we had 20,000 fucking people in Boston.
Sure.
Do you think all 20,000 of those have been cleared healthy? No, not a fucking chance. And they were all super fucking close together.
Yeah.
So if there is not a massive spike in the next 5 to 10 days, I think it would be reasonable to say, maybe this is kind of bullshit. Maybe we didn't need to close the country for 3 months.
Well, see, the only problem with that is that the case numbers from where they were, like back in late April, early
Oh,
May.
you mean the surge? The surge that was coming that never came?
Well, eventually there was a peak. It was just
It's like a disappointed girlfriend.
So here's the deal. So like where the numbers were the highest in like late April-ish,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I mean the numbers were there. Like it happened.
Yeah.
Someone smarter than me, or actually maybe not smarter, but someone who actually gives a flying fuck,
Right.
would have to evaluate how we did.
Yeah.
Like, did we actually kind of stop it? Did we actually flatten the curve? I don't know, because I don't know what a lot of cases are. I don't know what a little bit of cases are. I don't know.
Right.
And I'm sick
And
of.
then
I'm also sick of
with
hearing
that
the
stuff,
fucking flu people.
It's in comparison to what?
That's
So
what-
it's like, oh well, we had, 100,000 cases. Oh, is that a lot? I don't know.
That's what I don't know.
Like
I don't
in
know.
comparison to what?
like I don't know. Is that? I
That's
don't
what
know
I
if
mean.
that's a
Like,
lot.
how many people get pneumonia? How many people get AIDS? How many people get the flu?
You know what though?
How many
So
people get fucking? I don't know.
I have a-
You know what I mean? Like, what are we comparing it
So
to?
people have ruined your argument, because I saw something today that said, well, what if we went into lockdown for everything? They go, take type 2 diabetes for a while. They go, we've been in lockdown for years.
That's also.
And they go,
not-
sugar would be illegal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right,
You
but
people-
there's a fallacy in that argument because it's not communicable by like air.
This is what I mean. Like, this is why I'm saying people ruin your side of the argument
Yeah,
by
it's not
going
a-
to
It's not a communicable
going to
disease.
measures like that. So I don't know. I don't know how we did. And a lot of people did say before, they go, hopefully all these measures seem useless. Like, it seems like they're all a waste of time because that means we will have done it right.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I can understand it. Like if they like said before, all right, we did it and it was a little overboard, but like that was the point. And if they said like no, there's no spike now. If they started like if it was a good thing, there's no spike and they open up things faster, that'd be a nice little plot twist.
Yeah, but my whole the core of what I'm trying to say is if we allowed 20,000 people to gather in one, not obviously not. Obviously, you didn't have 20,000 people in like a fucking stadium. Like it was
Yeah.
spread out throughout the place, but there were 20,000 people there, like, and there's not a jump in
But
cases. Like
20,000 people on June 1st is not the same as 20,000 people on April 25th. That's the only thing. I don't know what would have
How is
happened
it different though?
because we're past the infection rate's coming way down.
Right.
Whether
but
that's-
what if the amount of let's just say, let's go with 2%. Let's say 2% of the people that were there last Sunday
Okay.
were positive for coronavirus.
Okay.
It'd be bad if they came back 5 days from that.
That's 400 people.
Okay.
I'm assuming those 400 people could also potentially be spread out. So what I'm trying to say is if you have 400 out of 20,000 on June 1st, it doesn't matter if it's June 1st or October 32nd.
No, the only
It's
reason
just
the only reason I'm picking that date is that's because when we were having the most amount of cases, the most amount of infection, which would then imply that's when we had the most amount of people carrying.
right. So then maybe it would have been 10% of people that were there.
Maybe.
Well, in that case, it would trickle over 3 weeks. You wouldn't see another rise until people protest that first day. 400 people spread it to another 800, and then the next one, if any people from the first one go to the second, 5 days later protest, then those 800 might spread it to 2,400.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the only way it really spikes. But it takes a long time for that.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I said another 5 to 10 days. If we get through the next 2 weeks and the cases
one
don't
more week.
increase at all,
I think they're actually coming down.
so what are we doing?
Well, so okay.
Well, that's why I
So
said-
so I'm gonna listen. I'm just as pissed about all this shit with you, and I'm gonna get into my fucking my demonstration later that I did on the coffee table last night. I'm gonna get into that. But the problem is they're looking at this like, oh my god, the shit we're doing right now is working.
Yeah, but
That's what they're
maybe,
doing.
But maybe it turns out that this thing wasn't as communicable as they thought it was. So that's the other thing too, is if you can have 20,000 people in a spot and have 400 of those people be infected and come out of this whole thing with only another 1,000 that get infected, that's a pretty low infection rate.
Yeah.
So that means that this thing wasn't as communicable to begin with. So it didn't matter. If we had 6.5 million people that live in the state, and then we could have done it differently. We could have quarantined certain groups of people. We could have let healthy people go out, and then if you get it, but then you quarantine, and then you know what I mean. There are better ways to do it than it's the same fucking thing that what it comes down to. It's the whole we don't like this, so shut down everything. It's we don't like the cops, so get rid of all the cops. There's a virus going around, close all the stores. It's this jump to the absolute extreme that I don't like. That never ends well. Because it leads to fucking something, eventually it's something crazy happens.
The thing I would just like to know is how did little old fucking Massachusetts get hit as bad as it did? Why were we up there with New York and New Jersey? How is that even possible?
They said it was that conference where all of it came from for us. So they were in Boston and they went out to bars.
And that was some people from Italy, right?
I can't remember what the conference was, but
I forget. I think I heard that too. This was way back when it all started.
yeah, it was in
Yeah.
March, that conference or whatever.
Yeah. But
I can get why they shut down everything if they don't know anything about the disease, just in case it's an apocalypse kind of event kind of thing, it mutates horribly, some movie time bullshit.
yeah.
That's the thing I think they're thinking.
I can also
that they
say
said first.
it's fair to look back and say, all right, well, we probably didn't need to go to that extreme, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
That's
And again, I'm not agreeing with anything that's going on right now because I actually think things are getting, they're not worse, but they're getting dumber.
Yeah.
Like the things that are happening are getting fucking dumber.
1000%.
Odd going to the store with masks on after watching the news.
What's my thing is like, so 20,000 people in the state just fucking protested in Boston, and we're still wearing masks in the grocery store, Mansfield, Mass.
Well, with all the, not to get into what they're like talking about, like, oh, this is how you get it, because they don't really know, and they do know. They said like going outside is like the most safe place because of how spread out the air particles can be.
Right.
Yeah.
So like maybe the protesters are in like the best position for it.
Well, and they're also
Something.
figuring out that vitamin D levels have a lot to do with how hard you get hit. So if you're
So if more people are out in the sun.
if you're deficient in
Right now.
remember we watched the thing
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Rhonda Patrick. If you're deficient in vitamin D, you had worse symptoms. Like you were more
Yeah.
likely to be put on a ventilator. And the people that were no, what are the two terms? There's deficient, and then there's another one. Like the one that's like you don't get enough, and then one is like you've really bad, you don't have anything. I think deficient is like you don't have enough, and then I don't know the word.
Absent?
I don't know the word for like dangerously low, but it was like the people with the dangerously low levels of vitamin D are the ones that were like being put on ventilators and all this stuff. They found a pretty strong correlation between vitamin D levels and the severity of coronavirus.
Yeah, they were talking about that in Florida when I was there.
And they also said that it's like people with obviously underlying health issues, or everyone knows
Obesity.
that, but like obesity and diabetes and all this other shit.
You're not gonna breathe well.
But like, my thing is like if we know all of that and we found that out relatively quickly, what like I'm saying like they found it out in the first 4 to 6 weeks. Why has there not been a national push to make people healthier? Like why has there not why has no one stood
No,
up?
because they're just gonna work on a vaccine.
But like, why has no one stood up and
The
said,
same reason why
hey,
they want to cancel the cops,
why
because
don't we fix the
Too much
problem at where like it causes the most
no,
problem?
because it's gonna say you have to make a vaccine, government.
Yeah.
That's what people want. They don't want, oh, I need to start exercising and eating better. No, that's too hard. Just make me a vaccine. Give me a pill.
Yeah.
Give me the shot. That's the
I'll
difference.
tell you right now, I'm not getting the vaccine if and when it comes out.
I'm okay with it.
I've never gotten the flu shot either. My entire life,
I've never
gotten a flu shot.
I always forgot to, but I've done it a few times.
I'm not
I've never
getting
gotten
the fucking coronavirus
Is
vaccine.
this an anti-vaxxer statement?
No, not at all. I just refuse to believe that it's actually that bad. I think it was completely blown up in the media,
Well,
in the
just
coverage, and it was panic
Well, it depends
and
on your
everything like that.
depends on your genetics. You might be the one that gets it and just gets fucked. Maybe you don't. Like a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the 30-year-old that gets fucked. Like just bent over and I have no lungs because they
Yeah.
fucked me into
I'll
no
deal with it if I do. Yeah, that's my decision. I'm an adult. If I die, then I die.
Don't give it
Well, I
up.
mean, I could die anytime.
Yeah,
Like, anytime I leave the house, I can die.
Absolutely.
I get absolute smart, fucking smoked
Yeah.
by a car.
Yeah, like I die.
Wow.
Yeah, no, but like again, all the politicians are gonna pat themselves on the back and look what we did.
Yeah.
Because I fucking tell you right now, May 6th, when he fucking ordered the masks, when inevitably the numbers were all gonna come down, they have all come way fucking down. So he's gonna look at himself and go, ha, look at how good I did on May 6th. I said everyone has to start wearing a mask and all those numbers came down.
Yeah.
When they were gonna fucking come down anyway.
Right.
And they fucking weren't.
We gotta get him out of there. We gotta vote. Is he up for election this year?
I'm not sure.
The way you figure it out, it's like this year or next year.
It might
He's
be.
like 15. He got in 16. I think he is.
It might be. It might be 2022. I haven't heard anything about. Like I feel like normally someone would come out.
Oh,
and
if it's
say,
an election year, wouldn't someone be running against them?
That's what I mean. I haven't heard anything like that.
It
Well,
can't- it
some
can't be
some governors run every halfway between the election year for president, so the 2-year gap.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He might be a
Because
2022.
because they have governors and senators some years for that 6-year thing that they do.
Yeah. What is it? The House of Representatives is
Every 2 years.
2 years, and then senators are 6.
Yeah, they're divided between like 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, so about one third for each bracket.
He was voted in 2014. He assumed office January 2015. So 14, 16. This is an election year for him.
What's a term on governor?
4 years.
Wait, yeah. Wait.
No, so he got reelected in
Oh,
2018
yeah.
then.
Yeah, and then
14.
So 14 to 18.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's
14.
20.
So it's
Yeah.
22.
Yeah. I went 14. What did I say? 14, 16, 20. Just making sure.
Yeah, everyone knows. 14 plus 16 equals 20.
Yeah. No. Like
I
2014
know.
to 2016.
I know.
your statement was equally false.
2 years. 2 years to 4 years.
2, 4, 8,
Yeah, but yeah, I guess we got a while for him. But
2022.
he's a fucking douchebag.
I got a lot of time to build up my rep. Vote for me.
I'll vote for fucking anyone at this point. He's a fucking moron.
Can you guys fund my public speaking classes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's free, right?
No, but
Yeah,
already
we'll
said
give you all of
yes.
our revenue.
Yeah. Every penny that the show makes will go
Wow.
directly towards your
Sure.
public speaking.
Should have clarified that.
Yeah, November 8th, 2022.
It's a good investment.
Yeah, so some of the phase 2 stuff that's come out in Massachusetts really fucking makes me mad, both in terms of what it is, but also the fact that like casinos are open in Vegas right now.
Oh yeah.
So that's what Jerry Thornton said this morning. Like there was pictures of people at Vegas casinos. He responds with,
We can't even.
he goes,
get
we can't
food.
we can't even be served a meal in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Well, they got more vitamin D than us.
I mean, I guess that's what it is. But no, like gyms are open at 50% capacity in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Florida.
Yeah, but
Same with a lot of places.
so the couple of regulations that really make me really tickle my fucking taint is personal training is considered step 2 of phase 2. Now we don't know
Good.
when that is,
So now we have steps in the phases.
but only for close contact personal services like nails and shit.
Okay.
But that's step 2, so we don't know when that is. And step 2 personal training says 1 customer is allowed in the facility at a time.
Good.
So you're gonna tell me that all personal training is exactly the same. Because Cressy Performance has 15,000 square feet. We have 6,800 and there's a place on 500 square feet.
Yeah.
So you're gonna tell me that all 3 of those facilities are exactly the same, where 1 customer is allowed in. Why the fuck is 1 customer allowed in 500 square feet with another person, but not 2 people in 6,800? How the fuck does that make any fucking sense?
They might make eye contact. Ooh.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have legislators.
So,
making
a place like
laws that
fucking
they don't know
Equinox,
anything about.
a place like Equinox that potentially has
Floors.
10 trainers,
Yeah.
different floors, all this space,
Yeah.
1 person.
1 person in the facility. And now step 2 hasn't started yet, so the legislation could change,
Right.
but this is how it reads right now. Are you fucking kidding me?
That is absolutely.
But if you want to go to TJ Maxx, they can have 8 people per 1,000 square feet
Yeah.
in the store.
Yeah. So if you have a TJ Maxx that's 10,000 square feet, you can have
80 people. in
80
it,
people in the store.
plus associates.
Yeah.
Speaking of TJ Maxx, I was there in Florida and I was like, I'm gonna go buy some pants, but then they didn't have a changing room open. They said you can buy it and then just return it if it doesn't fit. I don't know how many times you tried on clothes and just be like, fuck this and throw it away. So I just went, I'll just go to the other store that has
Yeah.
the changing room, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And so now, my favorite part of phase 2, and I haven't read everything, but my favorite part of phase 2 pertains to the golf courses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Driving ranges are open,
Yeah.
putting greens are open, practice areas. So, if you are on the golf course, you do not need a mask. I'm gonna backtrack. The mask order, the mask initiative, the executive order that came out said when you cannot social distance,
Right.
you need to wear a mask,
Right.
inside or out. That's what it said.
Right.
When social distancing is not possible,
Right.
that was the mask order.
Right.
So cool. If I can't keep distance, like Home Depot, wear the stupid mask. Whatever, they make their own rules. If you're on a putting green, you have to wear a mask.
What? But
If
you
you're on a
can-
putting green on a golf course, you have to wear a mask.
What if you're the only one?
you have to wear a mask
Yeah.
on a putting green.
Yep.
We also, I think driving ranges too. I'm not 100% on that, but some courses are doing it. So, here is my great fucking example. This is what I laid out last night on the coffee table. So, at Plymouth Country Club, where I am playing a golf tournament tomorrow, I got the local rules of how this is going to work. They said when you register and when you go to scoring, please wear a mask. Fair. We're going to be talking with another person, whatever. You don't want to go back and forth. Got it.
Okay.
Which, still, whatever. I mean, I'm still going to be outside. I'm still going to be outdoors.
Yeah.
I can talk to you from 6 feet, whatever. At Plymouth Country Club, the golf course do not need a mask. You don't have to wear one. Which makes for a very, very interesting dynamic. Because the putting green is located right behind the clubhouse, where you have to wear a mask. Directly next to that putting green is the 4th hole, where you don't have to wear a mask. Directly next to that 4th green, so what sandwiches the 4th tee? What sandwiches the 4th tee with the putting green is the driving range.
Ooh.
So you're telling me that out on a fucking golf course, the putting green, I have to wear a mask, but when I walk onto the 4th tee, I don't. And then when I'm on the driving range, I have to wear a mask. But the 4th tee is in between these two places.
Yep.
It's kind of like playing dodgeball when you had that one person that could cross the line, like they were allowed to. Like, you can't cross the line with 2 balls, you have to have only 1 ball. But this is just about masks and life. And you go to jail if you're wrong.
This is why I mean we're getting fucking dumber.
Yeah.
We are getting fucking dumber.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me all personal training studios are the same. So all places,
Well, that's why
one customer.
the more and more this goes into it, the more and more I think the whole thing is just a way to make the public feel less scared. Like, we have to wear masks everywhere. All right, cool. So people will be like less freaked out if there's masks everywhere. But they're like, wow, shit. You don't have to wear a mask on a golf course, but like, you should probably like have them wear it somewhere. I guess driving range, you know, because like you're handling balls. Which, hey, you're handling balls.
You're not, but
Which you're not, but even still, why do you need the mask if you're like?
Might get an itch.
But like, it just doesn't make. I completely agree with you. Nothing makes sense anymore.
because here's the other part with the fucking driving range thing that fucking pisses me off. And I got the email from my course. They said they're gonna put the balls out for you. Fine.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna put them out for you. Because you only need to touch a ball as if you're gonna put it on a fucking tee. Otherwise, you hit it with your club
Right.
to the green or to the mat or the fucking turf, and then you swing. So you don't actually have to touch the ball most of the time.
Right.
If you're gonna put a fucking tee in the ground, you do. But there's this magical thing that all fucking golfers wear. It's a fucking glove.
Yeah.
We all fucking wear gloves.
Yeah.
We have a built-in glove as part of the fucking game.
Some people wear 2 gloves.
Yeah, and he swings a fucking putter from the fairway
Yeah.
at Sharon Country Club.
Yeah.
Fucking him and Tommy Gainey, who's fucking soliciting prostitutes. Fucking A. It's a part of the fucking game. It's a part of the fucking uniform. We have a fucking glove.
Mhm.
All it has to say is touch with your fucking glove hand,
Yeah.
and we're good.
Yeah.
It's we are getting fucking dumber with this. As much as we're making progress, we're moving forward, and we're getting fucking dumber.
Yep.
We are fucking absolutely regressing in the logic sense.
100%.
It's not making
100%.
any fucking sense anymore.
Nothing.
They are
makes
just literally sitting there and just making shit up as they go. And it fucking pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I have no fucking clue what they're talking about. And there's no consistency through anything. And it just seems to be like the things that affect me and the things that I take interest in are especially fucking stupid. Therefore, I get to pay attention a little bit longer and realize how fucking dumb these idiots are. Because I'm sure all the fucking cyclists who are getting their extended bike lanes and shit
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of the fucking Boston roads because traffic isn't bad enough, they're not fucking paying attention.
Right.
Because they don't fucking care because they're getting their fucking bike lanes.
Right.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
The whole
With
thing
this
is just
shit.
fucking ridiculous, dude.
They should get some scientists to hit with a driver a ball that's been contaminated with coronavirus and see if they can slap it off.
The other thing that's
Dude,
fucking...
Dude, coronavirus
put 'em
doesn't
in.
live on surfaces.
Yeah, it doesn't live on
Do a
surfaces.
study.
The CDC decided again. for the second time. Because they told us that in February, but then they kind of forgot about that. But then they told us again last month.
Yep. And why are some places still listening to the World Health Organization?
Ooh, yeah.
Seriously.
Who?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something pop up on the TV.
Yeah.
And it was about surfaces. It was like, the World Health Organization says that, clean surfaces, or things can live on coronavirus can live on surfaces for up to 3 days. I go, it's pretty funny because the fucking CDC said it doesn't,
Right.
but we all know who runs the fucking World Health Organization.
Yeah. China.
Yeah. And descendants of Mao. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit.
Yeah, the whole fucking, oh man, I've never been more excited for a fucking asteroid or a super volcano or something to ever happen. You know, at this point,
It keeps missing us.
you know what though, at this point too, I wouldn't even be mad if Trump just got fucking all hopped up on Adderall one day and just hit the fucking nuclear button.
Putting the codes at the
They
button.
just hit it, just anywhere. Honestly, just send it somewhere.
Well, as
that-
long as they can retaliate.
I was gonna say, send it anywhere that also has nukes, so they can retaliate.
And I like Tanzania.
Yeah. Yeah, don't. Stay
Yeah.
away from the continent of Africa. They really
Yeah.
can't come back at us.
Yeah, that's just bullying. You're just a fucking loser at that point.
Go after a real country.
Yeah, go after like India or fuck it, just do it Russia. I mean,
Dude,
he's
oh,
he's
no.
buddies with Russia. China, nuke China.
Awaken the Germans. Get them all fucking
Oh,
pissed
yeah.
off again.
Oh no.
Yeah, because that usually ends well.
What,
No, but
we're 2-0.
That's what I mean. No, we can beat the Germans. That's not cool. I want someone that's gonna like blow us up. Like I want
There's no one out there that we can't.
I want a
we can't
world-ending
beat.
event.
I would like a week in advance so I can get to Australia so I can Mad Max it up real quick.
Yeah.
Even
I wanna be the
even
guitar
North
guy.
Korea, North Korea is the best logical option because the guy's a fucking nutcase.
Well,
Yeah, but you can't shoot
China.
anything back.
China is probably the biggest threat, economically and militarily.
Militaristically.
Militaristically, yeah. Military and economically, it's China.
All right, blow 'em up.
Militaristically, I would say Russia would be number 2. Economically, they're a fucking joke.
They
Yeah.
suck.
They're an absolute joke.
They got a lot of
Like,
big stars.
Just the state of California probably makes more money than the whole country of Russia.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. That's also why I listened to someone, I think it was Dan Crenshaw. I listened to him explain why
Russia's not dangerous.
Russia's not dangerous. Is because their economy is so weak that they like literally cannot afford fiscally.
Yeah, when you say it's like, oh well, they can't afford to go to war. No. The dollar amount.
Yeah, no, like they don't have the budget for.
They don't have enough Russian schmeckles or whatever.
They don't have rubles.
Yeah,
Like
no,
there's
that
not
makes
enough
the
rubles
whole-
in Russia
It's
to like
not enough
sustain
Putin
war.
coins.
Yeah, the Putins. Poutines?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Raspberry poutine.
But yeah, no, so fuck it. Send a nuke over to China. Let's get this thing going. You know what would be really like a smart idea is if anyone wanted to inflict like mass damage. Although this also could be a world ender as well, but I mean, fuck it, we're talking about end of the world, so who cares? As if someone from another country sent a nuke at the fucking super volcano in Montana. So you'd get the effects from the nuke, and then you would also initiate a massive volcanic explosion.
Is that why people don't attack us for being dead? It's like the past 50 years, it'll destroy the world.
Where's Spectre? Where's Spectre when you need him?
You guys want to make a Spectre? I'll be your number 3.
Can I be number 2?
Number 2.
I gotta wear an eye patch though. You gotta cut my eye out.
Sick, I'm a lady.
You know what I found out the other day? I think it was an Uberfax thing. When pirates used to wear eye patches,
Oh, yes.
it wasn't because they were missing eyes. It was because they would go above and below deck on the ships,
Yeah.
and then having the eye covered would allow them to see when they went
Yeah,
below
dark.
deck because it was dark.
Yeah.
Because your eyes have to adjust to the light in the dark. And I was like, holy shit,
Prevent mutiny.
those fucking pirates were smart as fuck.
Prevent mutiny.
When they weren't getting scurvy.
Well, I was just saying, I feel scurvy coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a close vision and the far vision too for like scoping out.
Yeah.
Scoping.
Yeah, this whole time I always thought that whole eye patch thing with pirates was because they had like lost eyes in battle or something. But no, it was just so they could see when they went below deck. They moved the eye patch to the other eye.
Save that for later.
Be like, all right, cool. Now I can see in the dark. It's like, oh shit, that's so fucking that's cool. I don't know why I popped it. Oh, because we're talking about number 2. Number. You know what's it's kind of cool. I think it's cool. I think it's hilarious. Is CrossFit is dead. It's dying. If it honestly, by the time this episode airs, CrossFit might be dead.
It's gonna be close, dude.
There's been a lot of things that have happened just in the last couple of hours today. So originally this afternoon, Reebok came out and said we're done. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not
So
continuing.
yesterday, the CEO, owner, founder,
Oh, yeah.
Greg Glassman.
Yeah, you should probably let everyone
Yeah.
know what the story is.
What's happening? He responded to someone's article, and all he said was Floyd 19.
Yeah.
Because the original tweet was talking about how racism is a public health issue.
Yeah.
And his response just said Floyd 19.
Yeah.
And then
I will say too, Greg Glassman is a fucking piece of shit.
he's a douchebag.
He's been a douchebag forever.
What is Floyd 19?
Which doesn't make it okay.
So
But I'm just not surprised that he did it.
he also
He
after
was mocking COVID-19.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
George Floyd.
with George Floyd.
Yeah.
So it's a bad joke.
Okay.
And
That's
then
very bad.
and then he commented about quarantine, but it was a borderline incoherent tweet. I had no idea what the fuck he was trying to say.
Yeah.
And like I actually know how to read,
Yeah.
but it was like I saw some people in the comments. They go, "What is that collection of words?"
Yeah.
And he was bitching about quarantine, but like didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Did you see the email that someone reposted to?
No.
Someone sent him an email, like one of the CrossFit owners or something, like reached out to him and like asked for, I don't know if they asked for clarification, but they may have also kind of condemned. I don't know. They didn't show the original email. They just showed the response. And he goes, he pretty much ripped them up and down, said that they're a pussy, and then at the closing email he said, "You disgust me, comma, Greg." Instead of saying like sincerely.
Yeah,
It was, or thanks. It was, "You disgust me."
Nice.
So he's a huge piece of shit
So
And-
Reebok has dropped their relationship with CrossFit.
at the end of this year. So they signed a contract through 2020, which actually turns out to be super convenient because they said we will fulfill the remainder of our contractual obligations throughout this year, and we were currently in negotiations for our new contract.
Which will
However, we will not be. We will be ceasing all discussions. So they came out. CrossFit gym owners have come out saying that they're not renewing their
they're
affiliation.
gonna cancel their
There's some people that are saying they're going to cancel. There's some people like they're pulling everything. They're big CrossFit athletes have come out and condemned it. Said this is disgusting. This is not my sport. This is not how I know it. This is not a representation of me and all this stuff. So all these people are coming out like ripping all this shit. And then, like right before we got on air, I saw Rogue came out, and Rogue is like
The equipment supplier.
the number one gym equipment supplier in the United States. They're
Are
based
they that high?
they're based in Ohio. Yeah. They're at the,
Well, I know they are, but like I was gonna say like York. York has been everywhere for fucking ever.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll give you York and like, but it's just
I know
different.
it's not performed better, but I'm just saying like
It's different. It's almost different clientele because they probably don't compete with Cybex. You know what I mean?
no,
Like,
Nautilus
and Nautilus.
but
like the people that buy Cybex and Nautilus aren't gonna buy Rogue anyway.
but I was thinking like York, cause like York barbells, York plates,
Yeah.
benches.
So I would say maybe I don't know what York has been up to recently,
I
but
think they just continue to just do a good job of what they do.
yeah. But Rogue is
Is a big one now.
They also have super high quality stuff too.
Yeah, it's good for like those garage gyms. And, like,
Well, that's the other
like,
thing. So-
sensation hits the equipment.
I was gonna say it's not only the solution for like CrossFit boxes and small gyms. it's also a solution for home because a lot of stuff is either mobile,
Right.
or it folds into the wall, or
Right.
it can hide,
Right.
or like.
Rogue makes amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So they came out and said that they're going to be ending their partnership with CrossFit. They're going to take CrossFit off of the CrossFit logo off of all of their stuff, and they're done. They're done. So now CrossFit's going to lose all of its fucking sponsors. It's going to lose all of its affiliates. Like CrossFit's dead. It's gone.
It's good.
Yep.
Is that, well, like all the gyms that are CrossFit gyms, you think they're just going to be independent now?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
do you think that'll be better or worse? Because now they're going to like go
No, not honestly.
free reign on their own.
Honestly,
workouts?
nothing will change.
Nothing
Nothing to say
will really
about-
change with them.
Like some will be good, some will be like.
Exactly.
So
it's like any gym now. It's
Yeah.
it's you can and so that's the thing
They're
is
just not paying CrossFit.
it's take
All it is they pay a licensing fee every year to have the CrossFit name on their front.
yeah. So you take any what's the big one, Invictus, CrossFit Invictus.
Yeah.
So now it's gonna be like Invictus
Function-
training
or Invictus Functional Fitness.
or Invictus.
All these places
Fitness.
are gonna they're all just
So
gonna change that.
they're just gonna change to that, and then someone will try to create the competition again.
Right.
Like you won't have the CrossFit Games, but you'll have the
Right.
Fitness Olympics. or
Something
whatever.
like that will pop up, and that's what I was gonna say too, as like a follow up to all that. Is I feel bad now for the athletes, like the CrossFit athletes, because now that the CrossFit Games is almost like assuredly going to just become extinct. That's how they made their living. Like that was their job. That was their livelihood.
Well, so the thing is, it's like
Made a lot of money.
it's
So I feel bad for them not being able to do that. Now they do still have sponsorships, so they'll be fine.
they
But
just
they
just have to put it on somewhere else.
Yeah, just pivot to
right.
whatever.
But that's what I mean. Like
Media.
until the Fitness Olympics
Yeah.
is created, these people don't have a job essentially anymore.
No, but you know how these people can throw together.
Yeah, no, it will happen.
Competitions.
But I'm saying like until it does,
Like so even right now they can't even have the CrossFit Olympics because
the
CrossFit
CrossFit Olympics.
the CrossFit Games because of fucking some virus or some shit.
Right.
So that's getting kicked out anyway.
Right.
I guarantee you a couple of the bigger gyms could put on, maybe not fill in the Staples Center, but
Right.
they could put on a legitimate thing and probably get it televised and get enough sponsors.
It's gonna take a while.
So they could probably do it in November.
No.
Just do it out in California.
It would be an invitational, yeah. But what I'm saying is, there's
oh,
a lot.
fuck the Open and all that.
There's a
bullshit.
lot. There's a lot that goes
Yeah.
into the CrossFit Games. It gets broken down by region.
Yeah,
you
no,
have
that's not happening.
event. That's what I mean. Like for something to
that-
replace that,
but that's
is
not-
going to take at least a year.
So the other thing too, though, that was probably dead anyway because the U.S. Open golf, they can't have qualifiers.
Yeah.
So
No. I'm saying for this year. Yeah. No.
it was
but
it was probably dead regardless. So I get your point. It's not
Outside-
happening in November.
outside of Corona times,
Yeah.
these people don't have jobs now.
Yeah.
Like if the world was normal,
They would
now,
have jobs.
They now
but they
wouldn't
probably
have
didn't have a
jobs.
job this year anyway, just because of the current climate.
Yes.
Now but that buys someone almost like a year
Yeah, it does.
or
To try and put something together.
Yeah.
like a year from now.
They didn't do anything for like the Open and all that because I know they can like video record their workout. I didn't know
I
if like
think
the
some
top
places
people,
might have done that.
maybe like the top people will still. Those are the ones getting paid too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. So if that was the case, that's not an Open. We all fucking know if that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna row 5,000 fucking meters.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's only so many people that have rowers
Right.
with gyms closed.
Right.
That's not an Open. That's what like the U.S. Open. That's like a lot of the kickback that's coming back. It's like it's not gonna be the U.S. Open
Right.
because there's no qualifying.
Right.
So I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do that, but
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck it though. CrossFit's dumb anyway.
yeah, I mean,
Taught me how to do overhead shoulder stuff better. That's literally all they taught me.
yeah, but that's probably because a halfway decent coach taught you that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you could have a fucking asshole,
Yeah, I've seen I've
Yeah.
done other places like
and that's the biggest thing.
It was
It was good. It was a good avenue to get people exposed
Yeah.
to different ways of training. But in and of itself, I've never been that big a fan.
No, because it comes down to the individual facilities.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But no
Yeah.
one wants to recognize that.
Right. Some CrossFit gyms are absolutely amazing.
and some are absolute dog shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's some that have been around for maybe not quite 20 years, but like
Probably pretty close. I think the
Like-
first CrossFit gym opened in 2002.
okay, yeah. So I was gonna say between 15 and 20 years, and some of those facilities are still fucking going and they're still fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
Never
So-
mind, there was one. I remember one. It was called CrossFit Banff.
Yeah.
Like badass motherfucker Banff.
Yes,
It was
yeah.
CrossFit Banff.
Yeah.
It probably made it 8 months.
Yeah.
But they're banned.
Banff.
Yeah.
Like they used to like when they would put out like their things, like they would like swear in
Yeah.
the posts.
Yeah.
And it was like
So fucking
it was the definition of everything wrong
with CrossFit.
with CrossFit.
Yeah. No. 100%.
And when I was
Like
down in
every
Florida,
bad stereotype.
there was a guy, like the second in command.
Pukey the clown.
He was like so good at it. Like he knew, like it was only like 12 people a class. He just knew what people could lift. But like you're gonna hurt yourself. Don't do that.
Yep.
Like he was perfect at that. He left though. The new guy was like a bro. Like I'm a personal trainer. Like just fucking put on as much as you can. And like the place fucking sucked.
I think you can do more, bro.
That was Greg Glassman's creation too. Pukey the clown. Did you? That was their mascot
And Uncle Rab though.
for like the longest time, probably until
Did they?
2013, like somewhere between 2011 and 2014 is when they were like, oh, we gotta get rid of this Pukey the Clown thing.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to get popular and we have like Gen Pop people coming in and like they don't like they don't like that the mascot is a clown that's puking all the time.
Let's stop supporting Rabdo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uncle Rab though.
Yeah.
That was something that
He
was
hooked
like,
up to a fucking dialysis machine.
that was like supported.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was early days of CrossFit.
Nice.
That was Greg Glassman. He's a fucking douchebag. That's what I mean. He's always been a douchebag.
Yeah. Pukey the Clown and Uncle Rab.
Yeah.
God, how do I get there?
Yeah.
I want to piss blood. Piss brown.
What else is there going on? Nothing really that cool. They ripped down a statue of the slave trader
Oh, that was cool.
in Bristol.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna pivot to our hometown of Medford, Massachusetts, and in Medford, something that happened late last week was a lot of people started exposing Medford high school students,
Yeah.
and so it was student on student.
Yeah.
This is who was being exposed for any acts of racism or like insensitivity, whatever. And one of the things that gets brought up is Medford has a slave quarters at the Royal House.
Yep.
And the slave wall
Yeah, in West Medford.
in West Medford. Now, my favorite thing is actually this slave wall because it is the most ridiculous thing in the entire world.
It's so fucking dumb.
So there used to be slaves at the Brooks Manor. So if you're gonna start burning shit down, start with the slave quarters,
Yeah.
knock down the wall, and then go burn down the Brooks Manor because those fucking caretakers suck too.
Yeah.
Or they did, 10 years ago when I lived there. But the slave wall used to span a long ash road in Medford. And like someone out there is listening and go, oh, long road, what's that, like 40 miles? No, I'm talking like a fucking half mile. It's city.
Yeah,
Grove Street.
Grove Street from like the cemetery down to the liquor store, right?
So it would have spanned, well, I mean, it's hard now because there's like a bridge and shit,
Yeah.
but it would have spanned from the bridge to the corner where there's just like another house and
Yeah.
whatever. So that right there is like half a mile.
Right.
And of that half a mile, there's like 30 feet
Yeah.
of bricks
Yep.
that was called the slave wall
That they preserved.
that they preserved. And then they claimed it a historical point and put a plaque at it.
Yeah.
But
It is-
history, bro.
It's a 30-foot fucking wall. Like they call it the slave wall.
Yeah.
It's
History,
the
bro.
smallest piece that you could potentially have left over from
And
it.
it's also 4 bricks high.
I don't know. I used to hide behind it and throw snowballs at cars.
Yeah.
But so it was
It's
enough
like
for me to duck underneath.
It's like a child slave wall.
Maybe
It's like,
4 feet high.
Yeah, it's not
stops
very
a child
big.
slave.
It's not a big wall.
So it's so funny because people bring it up. It's like Medford's racist because we have a fucking slave wall.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, shit like that used to happen. But the part that makes it so fucking dumb is that not only is it nothing to be celebrated because it's not nice, it doesn't look good.
Right.
It's only 30 feet of like shitty brick. It's uneven. It's all over the fucking place. It looks like hell.
Yeah.
It absolutely looks like
It
shit.
looks like it was built 200 years ago.
And like not very well.
Right.
Like, you know how like some of like the old pieces of art or like architecture, like whatever, it was like well done, and so you look past it because it's like, oh, that looks good. Like,
yeah. Well, also if you think of the times 200 years ago, if someone made their slaves build that wall, they probably didn't give them the proper materials to build the wall with anyway.
also,
And the slaves probably don't have good incentive to build a good wall.
no, why would they?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's,
Yeah.
let's build it 4 feet. We can't jump over this boss.
It's like, oh wow, okay, so I'm treated worse than a human being. The dog gets treated better than me, so
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Oh, you want me to build a wall? Yeah. Fuck your wall.
I mean, I'll do it, but I'll do it so you shut up. But fucking good.
It was
But-
like a winter activity to keep them busy.
I don't know, but regardless. But like the other thing too is like, what does it celebrate? Oh, we had some
Right.
slaves build a wall. We didn't maintain it, but we'll keep that little portion.
Right.
Sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
The
It's
Brooks.
stupid.
The Brooks fucking family.
Yeah.
Sick. We named a school after them.
Yeah.
Ooh, we should burn down that school too.
Yeah.
Great slaves.
I
But
just changed the name.
I think
I
there's
just-
still a Robert E. Lee school in Florida. I don't know if they changed it a few years ago.
Yeah.
that's all over the place down there.
It's awesome. In the worst way.
Someone compared that. They go, you don't see Nazi memorials in Germany.
Right.
Why do we see Confederate memorials in the
Yeah.
South?
Should
Yeah.
have been a heart attack. Take me to the Hitler hospital. The Third Reich Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, that's one of those weird ones where it's like you don't need the statues. I don't think it's a really good idea to have the statues.
That's in a book.
But I think we've talked about this before where it's like I also don't think that you can avoid teaching that part of history.
No, you
why-
can't.
That's
Like
why
it
it's in a
needs
book.
to be, yeah, that's right. Like it needs
It's
to be
not
taught in history. Well, because when we were talking about this, I don't know, probably a year ago on the show, because it was right around that people were freaking out about statues,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, take the fucking Confederate statues down. I don't give a shit.
They're literally traitors to
Yeah.
the country. They're,
Yeah.
It's the most
They
unpatriotic
committed
thing.
treason. Like that's the highest fucking crime. you
I'm gonna
can-
It's like
commission. I'm
having
gonna
a
commission a
Confederate
Benedict Arnold.
Yeah,
memorial.
but so the thing at the time too, whenever we talked about this, was we need to get rid of all of this from history. And it's like,
No.
no. You can't just scrub it from history.
Yeah.
Like people need to know that this happened.
Yeah.
Because what's that quote that it's like those that ignore history or
Doomed to
they'll-
repeat it.
are doomed to repeat it or something like
You
that.
don't know where you came from. You don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason you have to keep that shit in the history books too, is because of its significance. You need to have that shit there.
Right.
Because you know how everyone's talking about how it's like, oh man, how are you gonna cover 2020 in history books in the future? I don't think you
Do it
do.
every day.
No,
Yeah.
well, so here's my thing. I don't think it gets covered unless something significant happens.
Right.
Like no one's gonna fucking cover coronavirus. I promise you that.
Yeah.
They might. No.
No, they're not gonna
It-
because
no,
They,
you know
they
what-
might cover the year, but they're like, oh yeah, there was a virus.
It might be a
and the economy
subheading
went down.
of like a paragraph.
yeah.
It might
but
be the
like-
prelude to like a movement of black rights.
So okay, so
Yeah.
that's the thing.
That's
There
the
has to
setup.
be something has to come of this stuff,
Right.
and it has to be something important. If it's not like if it's better training for police, that doesn't make a history book.
I was just gonna say 80 years from now, hey, you know what they used to have? They used to have police, but they got rid of them. Here's how it all started. There was a coronavirus.
People stayed in their houses for 3 months. They were really fucking pissed off and bored.
So then they just
And
targeted
then
police
these
and
things
suppressed
called
black people.
police
Yeah.
kill the black guy in custody. And then
Let's
there was
take
no,
a
but
trip down memory lane to a group called the NWA, who had pioneering thoughts of fucking the police.
no, but that's my thing is there's nothing. You need something historically significant to happen in order for it to be covered.
Right.
And it just seems like this is the fucking weirdest year that we've been alive.
Yeah.
But something has to come of it because because coronavirus, the way it stands now, not important. It really isn't.
No.
It's annoying for us now, but Why the fuck 40 years from now would someone ever give a shit?
It's a hiccup.
Yeah.
It's like
But like,
throw a rock in a
only
pond
because
or
we're
something.
here for it,
But they talk about it like we would talk about the Spanish flu.
or even.
I know nothing about the Spanish flu other than it was bad.
Have you ever read a history book that talked about the AIDS pandemic?
No.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because nothing came from it.
Yeah.
It'll be a course in college, like a very specific one, like when you learn about like Italy.
21st century pandemic.
Well, we also kind of
in
lived
northern
through
Italy.
it.
That's what I mean. It's
So
different.
we were like the AIDS pandemic was like late '80s through the '90s.
Yeah,
and
we didn't know.
we were in school. In the
Here's another
90s,
one.
In the 2000s.
Have you ever been in a history class that discussed?
All
Rodney
history
King?
books are all textbooks are like 10 years
Yeah.
behind.
And
So-
also hats.
Have you?
Also hats.
We've done that. I used to be in college. This book is also a hat.
No.
But like, did you ever in a history book or history class learn about Rodney King?
I did.
Did you actually?
Streff, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Streff was great.
Okay.
He was an awesome teacher.
Okay, because that was
He
one.
taught U.S. history, and I had him my junior year.
Okay, because like when I took
Shout out to Mr. Streff.
any history class that I took,
Yeah, I never learned past the 60s.
yeah, the world stopped at Vietnam.
I didn't even get
Yeah, no, we
I got that from
covered
movies.
some.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
I had to go to college for that stuff. That was the expansion
Yeah.
course.
I mean, they didn't have to.
The expansion pack.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. So obviously, they didn't have to teach us about 9/11. We were all alive for it.
Yeah,
But I guess even now, it's still a little like
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because a lot of people do say it's like, oh, how are you going to cover 2020? I'm like,
They do 9/11 every year, that day, only for a day. But they do it like every grade does it. It's like a thing. That's the only thing that in my lifetime that is some of that stuff.
Yeah.
well, because again, they're not going to cover like the '08 recession,
No.
not in a history book.
I didn't
It's
really
not that
notice it.
important.
Yeah.
We didn't notice. We were in college.
Right. Yeah,
Well, no,
it
because
didn't
what happened?
affect us.
The market tanked a little bit, and then all the banks got bailed out.
Right. Right.
Cool.
Nothing
Student
happened.
loans went up.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
not significant. Nothing. That's not.
Right.
And then what? The market bounced back
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. What a time to be alive.
You
Yeah.
tell
It
me
really.
But that's the thing.
Long
So
view.
something has to happen in order for this to be taught.
Yeah.
And
It
So
would
they would cover 2003, like with Operation Iraqi Freedom. Like they would cover that stuff.
Even then, that would be the same as like covering the 1990
the
Desert
Gulf
Storm.
War.
Yeah.
Gulf War.
We never learned the Gulf War. We learned that there was a Gulf War.
Yeah, I taught it for a day. Once.
But that's the other thing with like, so it's like Osama bin Laden. It's like, oh well, he commissioned 9/11. Oh, and then what happened? Well, we found him 10 years later.
Yeah.
What happened? You got shot.
What happened in the
We put a
mean?
bullet between his eyes.
What happened in the? But like, what happened?
America.
But it was like, oh, what did he do between 9/11 and the time we caught him?
Okay.
Not really. Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, Saddam Hussein. Oh, he was really mean. Oh, what happened? Oh, well, we captured him.
Yeah.
We helped overthrow
Well,
him. He got
who was Saddam Hussein? Well, he started out as our friend. We helped him overthrow his government, and then he decided that he was going to take power for himself. And then we were like, oh shit, I think we made a mistake.
Don't.
So now we have to spend the next decade trying to figure out how we're going to get in there. And then we finally found a way to get in there, and then we killed him.
You forgot the hook.
But it's like,
You forgot the hook before he was a dictator, romantic novella writer.
that's what I mean. Is like even like things that were important or seemed significant when you think about a history book,
Yeah.
not important.
Also, you know what this just made me think of? You're the history guy. You could potentially know this.
Yes.
What is the United States track record in overthrowing world governments and putting quote unquote their guy in place? It's got to be like terrible.
It's so bad because everything was so successful in the way that they just didn't think for the future. Because like, they're like, I will overthrow them.
They also gave Osama bin Laden
Yeah, they gave
and
him
Al
weapons.
Qaeda weapons
They gave him AKs.
in
to fight the Russians.
the first Gulf War.
Yeah, but that was to fight the
90s.
Russians.
They put Saddam Hussein
Or
in power.
Actually, yeah.
They overthrew the Cuban government and put Fidel Castro in power.
Yeah, And then
They
they tried to
fucked
get
up
rid of
Libya.
probably. Yeah, they
Yep.
Muammar
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi.
Yep. Yep.
Come on, get up.
What else did
Was
we?
Syria? Was Syria?
Venezuela.
But yeah, we fucked up.
We fucked
Venezuela.
basically all of South America. We have fucked. We kept them as like, you know what?
Hey, we're helping.
Yeah.
That was all CIA stuff.
Yeah. No, we have to do it. The CIA. Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't do it to Canada. Like they're all right. They could be.
Well, technically, they're still
white
province of the UK, so
yeah.
I think we let it slide because of that.
I guess.
It's really funny to think, like back in the day, like all of this was fucking Great Britain versus us, and now
Yeah.
it's like
We're
the same thing.
Yeah, now we are Great Britain.
Like imagine us going to World War with fucking. Great
Someone
Britain.
said that. I might have been in school. But this I don't know when this happened. But I was looking at a map, and it might have been when we still had school. Do you guys remember schools?
I was in school once.
But it might have been like we were looking at a map or something, and someone said, I don't know if it was one of the kids or one of the other teachers I was with, and they go like, wow, look at how far away Hawaii is from California. It's like a 5-hour flight from California, and 5 hours from California is Boston. Like that's like halfway around the world. And I was like, yeah, it's really far away. And they were like, how is that a state in the US? And I go, well, do you want the truth? Because the truth is we needed a foothold in the Pacific to, kind of make sure that we could hold shit down. And
they were the nicest ones. The other ones we have.
Yeah.
We have 5 other ones.
Yeah.
That aren't states. It's actually predominantly a state. They don't even get to vote.
Yeah, it's like, well, we kind of need to like spread our power out a little bit. And they let us stay, and then we kind of adopted them.
You know when I say the name Puerto Rican and it sounds foreign to you? It's
Yeah.
actually not. They're Americans.
It's really just next Hawaii.
It's actually even further away from Hawaii. You ever heard of this place called Guam?
Or America Samoa.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? We own that too.
Where is the American Samoa?
It's near Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like above New Zealand,
Oh my
Papua
God.
New Guinea, it's a little bit
Yeah.
over.
Hey, it's pronounced Samoa. Samoa.
Samoa.
Samoa.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Is it? That's how they do it.
I had a
we
teacher
say
in
fuck it.
college that was either from there or like lived there, and he went out of his way to make sure that we all said Samoa.
Nice.
And then therefore there's Samoan.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Samoan, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, they're
Well, if it's
protesting.
Samoa-
Samoan.
Even though
Samoan.
we're not
I don't
just
know.
we're not just Samoan. We're
We're
Samoan.
Samoan.
It was right to vote.
Where's Samoan?
Yeah, they get the highest population percentage of people that join the military. By the way, I know facts about things. They're someone.
Yeah, they're also just like massive human beings. I think the percentage of people in the NFL proportionate to how many people are actually Samoan is like absurd. Samoan is absurd. Like there might be like, I don't know, there's
Good portion.
say there's like 35 people in the NFL that are Samoan. There might be like 1,500 Samoans in the world. You know what I mean? Like the proportion is just absurd. Like the amount of people in the NFL proportion of their population is wild.
There's more people in the NFL than their population.
No.
As you said, there's 35 people in the NFL and there's
wow.
50. I'm doing math. I think the right way in my head.
It would be 35 divided by 1,500, whatever that percentage
Oh.
is. It's like, yeah, so like if you look at like the percentage of all white people in the world, like less than 1% is in the NFL.
Is it the NFL?
If you look at the percentage of all black people in the world, it's like maybe 1% is in the NFL. If you look at the percentage of all people who are Samoan, it might be like 22% are in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, my son, yeah, he's in the NFL. Yours too? I thought everyone's in the military. We got like 80% there.
Well, sounds like you got two options.
Yeah.
Basically what I hear from what I hear now.
Yeah.
You're either in the NFL or you're in the military.
No, if you're not, you're at least someone.
But you're in Moana.
Ooh.
That was a good movie.
sunshine there.
Alright, let's wrap this up before we go completely off the rails. You guys got a final thought?
Yeah.
What you got?
Golf's coming back next week.
It is.
So they're playing at Colonial, which is in Texas, which I'm starting to think is the best state in the union, even though they fucking don't want to be a part of America. What's their saying?
American by law, Texan by God-given right.
Yeah, sounds like they've got things
Yeah.
going well there, though.
Yeah.
And this week, so the PGA is actually doing things correctly. It's going to be John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka in a group for the first 2 days. Spieth, Fowler, JT in a group. So they're going to put these guys together. They're going to, I think the broadcast is going to be on like network TV. It's starting at like 4, but I think Golf Channel is going to pick it up at like noon.
Oh, nice.
Which they fucking should.
Yeah.
No one's fucking doing anything unless
No.
you're in Texas. And there's plenty to do.
Yeah, you're working.
But you should have the. I've never understood that. I've never understood why there can't be some kind of fucking contract where the Golf Channel
Yeah.
can play golf when they're golfing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It fucking blows my mind because even like when it's gonna be on network TV at 3, they have coverage from like 12 to 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, like 12 to 2:45, and there's a 15-minute gap for
Yeah.
whatever fucking reason. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And then it goes over. But they've been playing since 8 a.m. Just put fucking golf on.
Right.
It's the fucking Golf Channel.
Right.
I don't need to fucking look at the morning show of fucking golf, where all you guys do is talk about the tournament anyway. Just play the fucking tournament.
Right. Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah, nice. Golf's back. We
And
got sports. NASCAR's back.
They're gonna have
NASCAR's coming
fans. They're gonna have fans at the Memorial.
back. 10% or 25?
Not a lot, but
Yeah.
they're gonna have some fans.
Yeah. That'd be good. That's exciting. And then the NBA and the NHL both announced their return plans. So we'll have sports back in the next couple months.
Yep.
So
Allegedly.
a few more weeks. Yeah.
Gotta wait for that spike. Fucking
Yeah.
Chuck Baker's waiting for.
Yeah. You get a final thought?
Not really. I like Texicans.
Texicans. Is that racist?
No, I hope not. No, I mean like not like right now
Kansas Chrome.
Texicans, like the old like cowboy Texicans, because like you said Texas, so I thought Mexico for a second. Because of the whole thing, where they're like, I'm not doing this well. When they became a state, like what the saying that you said,
Yeah.
but it's filled with like a bunch of people that are like those Texas people, but they're also Mexican, so it's like this hybrid of like, nice.
Yeah. Except Mexico is in South America.
But
No.
it was Texas was
Yeah,
owned by
isn't it?
No. Mexico's a terrible country in South America.
That might be the more racist
He's
statement.
doing a thing.
No, that's a 3-year Letterman thing.
Oh, he does. Oh, 311 calls it. Okay.
3-year Letterman says it all the time that Mexico, because back when like the border thing was going on, he goes, "That's a shitty country in South America anyway. Why would anyone ever want to travel to South America?"
You idiot! It's in Central America.
Well, technically it's North America, but
Yeah.
Not
there is
Central.
Yeah.
Yucatan, it goes into Central America.
Yucatan National.
I'm a Yucatan.
Yucatan Masters.
You're a Catan. Corona.
I do like Central America. That's. I think that might be my favorite thing because it's like
It's
you
the
can
forgotten
tell.
land.
You can tell
It's
someone in
forgotten.
the United States didn't want to be associated with Mexico.
Yeah.
So they go, well, we're North America, and South America's down there. I don't really want to be with them.
You know, one of the
Central.
wars we had, I think it was the Mexican-American War, not the Spanish-American War.
Yeah.
We like beat the shit out of them all the way to Mexico City, like it's way down there. We could have took the whole place, but we just like left and said, give us Arizona, this part of California here, just a little lip here, and then
Yeah.
along the Rio Grande, Grande. And then that was it. We were like, we don't want the rest. we officially have that, like, as a
Yeah.
state.
We have the choice. So yeah, so we'll take Arizona, we'll take that part of California, and you
Yeah.
guys will just go politely fuck off.
Yeah.
We beat them down so hard and lowballed it back. Like, we just
Yeah.
didn't want the rest.
Dude, I don't know if we could take them right now. They're fucking lighting cops on fire.
Yeah, I That's fucking wild.
Yeah, we just need organizational skills. We got those. We can take them.
I feel like we fucked up Mexico too. To add to the list of countries that the United States, or probably more specifically the CIA, has just fucked over. I feel like they definitely fucked over Mexico too, at some point.
Yeah, we never helped them get their freedom all those times. We just never helped the revolutionaries
Yeah.
that were actually good. We helped the bad ones.
Yeah.
And all that happened.
Yeah. Just
Fund the enemies.
fed the cartels money and guns.
We do that.
Yeah. So my final thought is JK Rowling is back in the news.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Because she's being accused of being transphobic after mocking a line that someone wrote where it said, "People who menstruate." So there was a headline that
What?
came out and said something along the lines of like, people who menstruate. They're looking for creating equality for people who menstruate. That's what it was. JK Rowling replied to the tweet and goes, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumben, Wimpund,
Wombat.
Woomud. Opinion, creating more equal post-COVID-19 world for people who menstruate. That was the fucking article, whatever. She was like, yeah, it's called women.
Yeah.
Like, just say women. We need to create more equality for women. And now everyone is attacking her for being a transphobe.
Well,
because
yeah.
trans women menstruate.
Yeah.
Which, do they? Because that's kind of fucked up.
Well, they menstruate until they don't. Until you get like everything done.
No, like trans women.
Oh no, I meant
So
I
men
meant
becoming women?
Women.
I don't know the proper.
I don't know if I'm using it right.
When a woman
Okay.
becomes a
So
man,
which-
she's still menstruating as a man until it's all fixed up on there. But the other way around, they don't.
Yeah, we have to be non-PC because obviously one, that's what we do. Two, I don't know what a
I
trans
don't
man
understand
is versus.
it
You
either.
I
guys
don't know.
apparently just call them like what you see them as, not what you
No,
know.
you
them
don't want
as.
me to call them what I see them as.
If they have,
Yeah.
if they have long hair, woman. If they have short hair and a beard, man. That.
If you have facial hair, you're a dude.
Whatever they're trying to be is what you're supposed to call.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to do some mental gymnastics in your head if you want to think about what their no parts look like and what gender that would be.
I just don't care.
I mean, I agree with her, but I also like just don't say it. It's not one of those things best left unsaid because you know what's gonna happen to you. So like, yeah, they're trying to say, oh, all women and then women who are becoming men who still menstruate because they do them.
Yeah.
Just leave it unsaid.
But it's like, if that's the thing, if you're a woman transitioning into a man,
Yes.
can't you not fight for women's rights anymore? Because you would then theoretically be a man.
Well, you fight for transgender women. No, transgender men's rights, which is like the same thing, but
No, because now you're getting into like some because there are
I'm gonna
men,
get a popsicle headache from this.
there are men who fight for women's rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called dum-dums.
I mean,
I mean, they don't have to be.
Well, no, there's a difference. There's a difference between women's rights and then calling yourself a feminist. Like if you're so that's all right. That's where I misspoke. I will take that one. It's
oh, we're gonna misquote you later.
yeah, misquote. How many times am I gonna get canceled this fucking quarantine for not speaking right? So
Why don't you speak more smarter?
because I'm dumb.
More smartlier.
Yeah, me dumb.
I'm a feminist.
You like men that call themselves feminists. Those are the guys. Those are the dum-dums. Those are fucking idiots. But like, if you're, that's what I mean. Like, is that like a legit thing? Like, if you're a woman, and you were a woman, but now you're a man.
You're just an advocate for women's rights.
But you joined the enemy, right? Because like some feminists look at men as the enemy. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Woo!
Doing great. Well, think of it as police. Like, you don't just like I joined the police. You were protesting. You're like a black guy joins the police force.
Yeah, but some
You
people
joined the
do.
enemy.
Some people look at that. I'm
Yeah,
not
they
saying
see
they're
it.
right. They're
Yeah.
completely fucking idiotic.
Yeah, so it's the same. You're on the side of the dumb people then if you do it that way though. If you say,
But like,
they didn't just join the enemy like a black guy joined the police. They
yeah,
just-
but some feminists think that.
Yeah, they-
just like some
yeah, there's
people
gonna be
attack black cops and say you're supposed to be on our team.
Yeah, those are
Like, you
dumb,
guys are
those,
idiots.
those are the dumbest of people.
Yeah, I would say they don't represent. I mean, those are just the
Technically, they're
dumbest.
Sith, from what I hear. Only Sith deal in absolutes.
Yeah.
It tells me that a lot.
Yeah, we've talked about that here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the absolute.
I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, JK Rowling, I think is hilarious. She's just like, ah, fuck it. You know what else is great though too? Is just that British type of like dry humor and like not giving a fuck. Like British people really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And they also have a way of like telling you to fuck off, but like doing it eloquently,
Yes.
where you're just
They do.
like, all right, okay, cool.
I used to be really into British comedy so, because it's so dry and like
Yeah,
it's just insulting or
yeah, yeah. They have a very liberal use of the word cunt too,
That's
which is
it.
my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, it's weird that we don't have that word here. It's like
Yeah, I don't know why
demeaning
people
to
like.
women.
Yeah,
That's
people,
nice. I am a big cunt.
yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
I'm a huge cunt.
Like every day that I got home from
That
teachers,
was-
like,
who
wow, I was a
did
cunt
that?
today.
Jim Jeffries.
Just you know.
I think Jim Jeffries did a bit on one of his stand-up specials about the word cunt, and he said that too. And he goes, I think he filmed it in America. He goes, I don't know why you Americans get so offended by the word cunt. He goes, we use it all the time. He's a jolly cunt. And he just goes off and says this whole thing, and he's like, I can see you guys cringing.
And Louis C.K. did it too, more in a creepy way. On point.
Yeah.
Is that how it's such a good word? Rolls off the tongue like a nice cunt. It's a compliment to your pussy.
Was Jim Jeff? Oh, did he do the thing where it was like, it's like, oh, you called her a name? He goes, what, cunt? It was like, oh no. He goes, what, bitch? Like, no. He goes, well, then it wasn't me because I wouldn't have called that woman anything but those two things.
I don't know. It could have been. He's great. I like him a lot. But, all right, I think that's gonna do it. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thanks for listening wherever you're at. Make sure you subscribe on both. Keep spreading the word. I think, like I said it before, I don't know if people are finally starting to go back to work or we're actually getting more popular because you guys are spreading the word. But our numbers are almost back to what they were pre-quarantine.
All right, well, keep doing what you're doing.
So keep spreading the word. Keep telling everybody. And we appreciate the shit out of you guys. And we are on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_speaks. And then Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night, everybody. Good night. Good night.